You know what I mean? Where, because, like, I never really indulged myself in, like, high school drama and gossip and stuff. Like, it definitely happened about me because
but you're
just
like,
how I was, but I was just like,
I don't want to get invested in it.
I was just like, okay, and then it
'cause then
passed
it
like
becomes
within
your
a week,
life. Like,
and then it passed away within a week because everyone stopped talking about it.
Exactly, because you didn't give it the attention that they wanted you to give it.
Yeah, exactly. But people that would do it would be like, oh, it sucks. You know what I mean? Because they keep saying it for a few days because they know. You know what I mean? Dropping like a week or two, and then they're on to the next.
Right.
And it's just like, that's another thing too. It's just like, I feel like people are like, bullying is always gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunate as that is to say, but in a sense, it's
but
like,
it's only the power you give it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think it teaches people not like beating up people and shoving them in lockers, but like, if someone's being a dick to you, man, you take that as a lesson, and I think you can't get rid of that. Because that's not the real world.
Exactly.
The real world is
like,
there are assholes just like that, man.
It's you figuring out how
to maneuver around them
it
be
and
as
what you do
as
and
you
who
can.
you are.
Yeah. Do you want to stoop to that level? Which sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah. Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you have to. But you don't need to.
But
shouldn't
it's not
have
you.
to.
Right.
It's not you, exactly. And you shouldn't have to.
Which is why I think, like, bullying awareness is so good now, because it's like, it's never going to stop. Like, I don't think that those things are going to make it stop. It's just the awareness of it. And knowing, like, hey, if someone comes at you with this, don't give it the attention it needs. Like, just figure out your way to get around it. The
serious one, for sure, would be the, okay, my friend Rowan, you know Rowan, he spread a rumor. I get sick a lot. I have a bad immune system. So, like, if I catch something, I catch it immediately. It's not like, he has it in his case.
Like, you have corona right now.
If I had it, you wouldn't know. Like, if I had it, I'd be, like, coughing.
In bed,
yeah, I'd be done. Yeah. Like, probably. I don't know. You know what I mean? God forbid.
Oh.
That's why I'm sanitizing.
Right, let's knock
everything.
on something.
Yeah, knock
on something.
All right.
Anyways, Rowan was like, yeah, because I was gone for 3 months. I had chickenpox. I was gone for like 3 weeks or like around a month.
Yeah, chickenpox?
Yeah. And
didn't you never get it?
No, have you had it?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
y'all have had chicken pox?
I have a scar from it.
Yeah, I got a scar on my back. Yeah, it sucks.
What?
Dude.
I never had that.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all have
was
that?
like,
I thought that was like done by our age, like
no.
when we live.
No.
What? I got it when I was like
smallpox
6.
is gone, not chickenpox.
Not chicken.
Smallpox they don't serve the vaccine for anymore, which scares me because they should. I don't know why they don't do that, but then you got all the idiots. They're like, vaccines kill their children, and now all of them are all dead, so it doesn't even matter. But I'm sorry. That was my bad.
No, you're good. Speak your truth.
It's just like, because like my brother's autistic, I'm autistic. It doesn't matter. Vaccines don't make you autistic, you idiot. Like, it's just simply a thing to make sure that your immune system keeps up. It has no correlation with your neurological system at all. Autism and shots are not the same thing. So stop saying that. Okay. Anyway, Autism Speaks, support it. Okay. So
apparently they're not a good organization.
Back to the point. Really?
Yeah. Apparently some people don't like that.
Oh, well.
Well, then we take that back.
Fine. Figure out which one we should.
But Rowan told everybody I had AIDS, and everybody believed it for 4 months.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What in the
world? How can you start that?
And like, I was wondering,
it's a joke. You think it's just a joke? As a kid, you do not care.
Yeah, and I came back, and at the moment,
but people take it and they run with it.
Yeah, at the moment, I was heated, but for 4 whole months, I was wondering, like, man, why aren't girls talking to me? No one approached me about it, bro. Until I got a card.
Because they're scared of it.
Until I got a card. I got a get well card signed in class, and one kid said, "I hope your AIDS gets better." And I look, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm sorry, you have to bleep it out, but that's exactly what I said. And Rowan, I was like, dude, what? And he was like, yeah, man, I kind of told everybody you had AIDS, and I was like, what?
Why would you, like,
why?
Just why?
He was like, you're gone, and everyone believed it. And so, like, my teacher, and my English language arts teacher was always acting so weird with me, too. She'd be like,
because she knew.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, and like, bro, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, the school didn't send nothing to my, did they? No, they tried to have my mom arrested for truancy or some BS. Yeah, but I had chickenpox, bro. Yeah, I hate school systems. Anyway.
Dang.
So, like, I've experienced it, you know what I mean? But that was in middle school, and it doesn't...
But the way you handled it was good.
Yeah, I've been accused
to just not give it power.
I've been accused of rape one time, but
What?
There was no way.
Oh, shit.
There was no way. Like, yeah, no. Do you want to hear a story? Like, for sure. No, it's so fun. No, it's funny
fun?
because like, fuck this bitch. Like, she doesn't. I'm sorry. Like,
what?
Here, listen. So like, I'm at this party. I do not want her. I am chilling. I am minding my business. I'm not in the best. I'm chilling. I'm hanging out, and she's just like, hey. Blah, 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 and keeps trying to mess with me, this, that, and the other, and I keep curving her, and I'm like, no. Well, I end up hanging out with her friend for that night. You get my drift. Mm-hmm. And the next day, she's telling people in the school, yeah, he just had his way with me, this, that, and the other. And I was like, what? Cap! And my friends pulled up the receipts, because we were at, like a Waffle House thing, blah, 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 blah.
That's a good way to, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's such a fine line because it's like hearing sides of stories. It's like, who do you side with?
Mm-hmm.
Which
it's
is
all
such,
just
but her friend, but then her friend
to protect like guys though, and like anyone accused is to keep receipts or like.
It's important, but no, we were like out eating, and it was just like, yeah, no, and I was like, thank God. But then also her friend was like, yeah, no, he was with me. So like, called her ass out, and it was
that
just
like ruins
people's
crazy,
and it ruins people's
like
lives.
There's like the 2006 Duke team that they all got accused of rape, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they like if you look up any of their names, the first thing that comes up is that, and it was not true.
Mm-hmm. Dang, and it's just hard because like being
scary.
A girl, you want to side with the girl in the situation,
right, of
and
course.
like maybe even like as a guy, you want to side, but
of
like
course.
It's good to protect yourself and have receipts or like have something that like you can say like no, like this is what's the truth, and like I don't know.
It's just I think
because you don't want to dismiss someone for saying something.
You can't. No, you can't, and you also can't do a boy who cried wolf because you're messing up the. You're really messing it up for
the
a
people
poor
who
woman who
actually happening
God
to.
forbid, you know what I mean?
Something horrible happens to.
Like horrible. Anytime a woman is like, "Oh, this has happened," I'm always like, "Oh,
okay, I'm going to believe
I'm with your side."
Yes.
Until proven wrong. Yeah, exactly. If it's like if I see like the moment you're telling me your story, if I know something's not adding up, like I'll call you out there. You know what I mean? But like if it's clear cut most of the time, of course. You know what I mean? Because this isn't a world designed for a woman to really be in at the, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, and especially in some parts, it is a struggle. Mm-hmm. Well, it is. It's built for, not really. We're more likely to succeed being Caucasian males.
The way that the world's set up
like
right
white
now,
guys are more likely to succeed than like
but
any
even
other.
It's becoming
which
better.
Is unfortunate, and it is becoming
really
better,
better.
Which I'm bet.
It was based on a patriarchal white society before, and like we're still kind of in it.
I mean, we are still kind of.
Getting out of it.
Doing the best, and it's good that our generation is more aware of the fact that like, hey.
This is happening.
Everybody sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's the awareness
Yeah.
that, like, hey, this group of people sucks. Like, no, it's not that. Everyone sucks.
Yeah. And we just need to all, like,
tolerate each other.
Be on the same page as each other.
Like, there's no need to hate someone. And especially for something stupid as, like, your skin is darker than mine. Like,
or like a different gender, or like
just anything dumb like that.
You know what's weird? Like,
any differences.
I never got why like people are so iffy to talk about that stuff, especially when.
Because it's very controversial.
Especially when, but like I'm what I don't care because like this is some real stuff. Like you gotta be 100% real because like this is what's affecting society. And
exactly.
This is what's affecting you.
And not talking about it isn't doing any help to anyone.
And it's just like. People are like, oh, well, you're white, so you don't get a say. You're adding to the problem, man. You need to be open-minded. You cannot preach for everyone to be open-minded. And only,
and only you.
It works both ways. And it's like, there needs to be an out. Now, I laugh whenever something racist is said about a white person. I think it's hilarious.
It is. It's
so funny. Like, who's the comedian I think Tom Segura, right? Like, he was saying, like, that, and I agree. I agree 100%. It is funny. But, like, for other races, people are like, oh, well, why can't I? Dude, it's different. Like
it's
so different.
And
I don't understand
awareness.
that. It's that ignorance. Yeah, it's that ignorance where it's like, oh, well, I don't understand why that's wrong. Well, I mean, they teach in history class. Like, we kind of mess these people up, bro.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we shipped some random people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. I would hate a white person too. I'm not Catholic.
No shit.
And I get that. And forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget
Don't
about slavery.
forget about it,
but
move on from
it.
I hate that.
You know what they say?
Well, that was forever ago. What?
You know what they say? Yeah, that argument is all the time, right? But watch that same person be like 9/11. Never forget. Watch.
Oh, man,
am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No,
because the more patriotic you are, I'm gonna get messed up for saying this. This is me, not them. This is my personal opinion.
Right.
I
Speak
think
your truth. Speak your
if
truth.
you're, and I love this country, I really do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I hate America at all. I'm really not. There are flaws, and you have to admit that there are flaws with every single society and country
everything
that you live in. Of course,
everything
but I love America. America by far is the better bet than most places to live. Of course,
agree. Easily.
But saying this, I think the more patriotic you are, a little bit more racist you are. And just because...
That's why I want to move out of the South.
Just because, you know, it was rooted from white.
Yo.
Man, and it's just kind of like, but I have a lot of friends that are redneck and love doing stuff. And I'm not just saying rednecks. There's a lot of people, like, even from the city that are like, yeah, man, like, I can't even stand them. You know, and I was just like,
yeah,
wow.
You're like, what?
Like, a lot of Italians are racist, bro.
Yes.
Like, a lot.
And I'm like, how?
Crazy. Yeah. But, I mean, I think it's just important for everybody to have an open mind, like I said. Because if you're just going to beat each other over the bush, being like, oh, well, you can't say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, it's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, don't be on that.
You all got to be on the same page. You got to have the same energy.
You got to tolerate each other. No one said I got to like you. And no one said you got to like me. Just tolerate me. Like, I'll mind my business in P's and Q's, and you be in your P's and Q's. Like, I'm not going to mess with you. Don't mess with me. And it should be like that for everybody.
And there shouldn't be anything saying that we can't, like mess with each other. There's nothing saying that, like...
Yeah. People be nosy. People be jealous. That's another thing. People are envious. Like, that's another thing I noticed. It's like, people are always like, you're a culture vulture. That's just how I grew up. And it's unfortunate because it's like, you get this... I don't want to say discriminated because it's like you almost can't use that word if you're white.
No. Yeah.
But it's just like, I get made fun of a lot because it's just like, oh, you want to be at... You know what I mean? And it's just like, man, it's not like that. It's just like... I grew up like...
It's who you are. It's where you're from.
Who shot you is in the background. Like, I'm not, you know, like, it's not... And people always hate. They're just like, blah, blah, blah. But it's like acceptance. Like, I'm not trying to steal a culture. It's just a culture that helped shape me into who I was. And I never want to feel like, oh, that's mine. But in a sense, it is. Because I grew up in, you know, not like... Let me say that wrong. Because that's definitely going to be taken the wrong way. It's mine in the sense that it helped me shape who I am in my own version, like rap and R&B, and growing up the way I grew up is very similar to a lot of people who struggled grow up, and especially in a single mother household, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I think if we can all just relate to the fact that it doesn't matter, like, that most people that say that are black.
Right.
And it that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter that they're black. It shouldn't matter that it's a person that has to deal with that, because that's hard, especially when you have, you know what I mean, like other siblings that you might have to step up, especially as the oldest, you know? And not a lot of people respect that, but I get respect for it. But I feel like if I was black, that's stereotypical. I wouldn't get the respect, which is crazy to me, because I have a friend that's kind of in the similar predicament that I was growing up. People tell me all the time, you're such a good brother, this, that, and the other. He doesn't hear anything. And it's crazy to see those differences. And I will never understand that. And I think you have to understand, as a white person, you can never fully understand
but you can be aware
what it's
of
like.
it.
But you can be aware. You can appreciate the culture. You can grow up with it. It can be yours if you make it your own, and you can love it for what it is. But you can never grow up and say, I know what it's like to be black. Because, or I don't know, I know what it's like to be Mexican or Indian, because you do not.
Yeah.
Because you are who you are.
Exactly.
And people don't understand that. And it's crazy to me, because it's just kind of like, man, why does it have to be more than
just who you are.
Yeah.
Right, like...
But it that's what it is, and it's what it is. And some people are going to still find a way to nitpick what I say and hate what I say, but I think
you're coming from a good place, though.
All I'm trying to say is people need to just understand that we all suck. So just chill.
I think it's just having empathy.
Everyone sucks.
Like the more empathy you have, the more you try. Just try to understand every single person.
And I'm a sociopath, so I be trying. Like
but like sometimes you don't get it too. Sometimes you're like I'm trying to understand, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's just what you have to do. You have to make an effort to try to understand everyone else and step in their shoes and say why, what are they feeling? Yeah. What are they thinking? And I hate that saying where it's like feelings don't matter. And it's like, okay, I understand that. Like facts are important, of course, but feelings matter because like what are we all? We're just
a
all
massive
this.
Feelings.
We are like,
and like
this vessel.
A brain.
How do you know any of this is real? Exactly. All I know that's real is what I'm experiencing, what my perception is, what I'm going through, my feelings. That matters 100% to me. And you need to figure that out about everyone else. Like everyone, they're the most important thing to them. Their feelings matter. Everyone's feelings matter.
Everyone's the main character of their life.
Yeah,
everyone's the main character of their own story.
Our bodies are just fleshy mechs that our brains are piloting.
Exactly.
Right. So why can't we all just understand and be co-pilots?
And just
I don't get that. I don't get it.
It's poetic.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I don't get why like people Robert Frost. No, like I don't get why people have to be so hateful, man. And so it's crazy. I don't know, man. I just try to live my life and be a good person. But some people are raised and other people grow up. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
There's a difference, and it's just like can't blame those people, but in a sense, it's just like it sucks because you have to learn how to deal with them, but also tolerate it and understand where they come from because it's like, well, they didn't have anybody to guide them in life. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I've seen a lot of kids that I went to school with that just had no influence whatsoever, and I'd be jealous because I'd be like, dang, like why does he get to do this, this, and this? My mom was a little bit stricter with me when I was younger. You know what I mean? But as I got older, that's how it should be. I feel. You know what I mean? Like. What are you, as a parent, going to, like, parent style? Like, what do you think?
Me, like, as a parent?
Like, both of you. Like, yeah, and I'll answer mine.
I think, for me, like, I have no idea. I've, like, obviously not have a kid. Yeah, right? So I don't even know. I think it changes once you get that kid and you're like, okay.
Yeah,
this is what I got to do with them.
I think going in, what my kid's like. I think I would be strict, but I would be strict more in the sense that, like, I'm going to hold my child to the highest regard, and I'm going to teach him that's what he should do.
Yeah.
I don't want you like because I think the parents that are too strict are the ones who are like, you do this because I say so.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be that.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how my father raised me. He was not like that, but like the way I would is like, you should do this, and this is why you should do this. Yeah. Like, this will benefit you in the long run. This will, like, act like
informational.
Right. Stop misbehaving in class because in the long run it's better for you or stuff like that. So I think it's teaching them and helping them find their values.
Because
they're not going to be yours. You can try to implement them, but they're not going to be yours. They're going to have something that they think different because they're their own entity.
They're their own person.
Mentor.
A mentor, exactly.
Between a mentor person. Like I was saying earlier, a person that has gone through experience is always going to be the person I'm going to go to rather than the person that's just been pen and paper the entire time.
Right.
For sure. 100%.
I think
I'm going to
be the better teacher. They're going to understand it better. Experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
And
I think
you learn,
I think at a young age you try to, like, for a child, you try to push what you believe in, like, your morals onto them.
Yeah.
Like when you're raising them. But I think
when they're like a baby.
I think like toddler ages like that. I think after a certain point, I think like especially if high school hits, that's when like,
they've got
I am going to help you.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. Like, not whatever. Like, I'm not gonna help you like kill someone, but I'm gonna, like, if you want to do.
But if you have an idea, I'm gonna help you do it.
Like, do graphic design, 100% in it. I'll help you. I'll help you with that.
And I think that's how, like, my mom kind of was with me. Like, she allowed me to do what I wanted to do in a way that wasn't just like, here, do it, whatever. But it was like, I'll kind of guide you through it. But she's also an artist, so I always wanted to do art. And she helped me through that.
For sure.
But, like, I don't know, she just allowed me that space to do what I wanted. but still was there to keep me in check, you know? And I think that's what I'm going to be, is kind of like, I'll support you. I'm going to be here for you. And I'll also like be the one to keep you in check. Like, I'll be the one to ask you about like what you're thinking about. 'Cause I want you to be able to like talk through everything while it's happening. I don't want you to like build it up and then come up with all these stories in your head and then have something wrong with you over it. Like just be caught up on something. I want to be there for them to talk to you like while it's happening.
Right.
You know? But I also don't think I'll be like a friend. Like, I'm definitely going to be a parent.
No. Then I'll be a friend. To me, that's weird. When like people are like,
my mom's my best friend.
Close with their, like, I'm close with my parents. Mm-hmm. But when you're like calling them their first name, it's like, I respect my parents way too much to do that.
Oh, well, I think like, I'm never going to call my mom Deanne. I mean, I was joking though. Like, I
but I think it's
but I think when like people tell their friends, like, oh, like this, I'm like, no, my mom. No, that's my mother.
My mother. No, when I introduce my mother to someone, that's my mother.
Oh.
But like, when I'm like joking around with her and stuff, I'll just be like, oh, okay, Deanna. Like,
no, for sure. Like, and I think it's good to have like that playful interaction with it. Like, it's good to have a playful relationship.
I could say she's my friend for sure, but I think that has to grow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It can't be right off the bat when they're a kid, but like, I feel like when they're becoming a teenager, you have to kind of phase into that. And then when they're like 17, 18, become their friend. Yeah. Because then that's going to be the
relationship that you actually want to have with
them. It's ever evolving.
Yeah, because it's just going to be like, listen, you know, we got to build this mutual respect right now. You're grown.
Right.
You're grown, you know, pretty much.
You are your own person.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I'm here, but like, you doing you now. I can no longer say anything. You have come to the realization.
Like if you make mistakes, it's on you.
Even if they become like 15 or 16 and they have that mental awareness of, I'm my own person at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I know what's best for me and I need to do what I need to do. And if I can see that and they can prove to me and recognize that, then I'll go ahead and be on the friend level and I'll respect it. It's all about the mental maturity. Mm-hmm. Because I was so mentally advanced at such a young age that like, that's why I didn't like hanging out with friends. All my friends are older. 2 year example. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be people that are just mature. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is like, I never really found anybody my age that I thought was mature. I guess Rowan was the only one, really, you know what I mean? But like, I just always think that that's funny, is that, I don't know. I just think it's funny, man.
I know. I feel like it was the same way with me. Like, I was always looking for like people older than me, or like people my age that like were on, I don't want to say my level because that sounds weird, but like on the same kind of understanding, on the same vibe as me, exactly. Mm-hmm. And like, I always felt like I was just a little more mature as like a kid.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but my mother for sure. I mean, I wouldn't raise my kids exactly like my mom did. My mom made me paranoid about like everything. Like, I can't go outside without thinking I'm gonna get molested in 5 feet. But like, it's. I love my mother though, so I'm grateful for everything she has done for me and still doing for my brothers, and still does for me in a sense. You know, just by being there always, and you know, it's always good to have that one. Right, a parent is a parent, and I'm just grateful I had one in my life. So shout out to her for sure. But yeah, you know, I would definitely raise my kids in that type of demeanor. Like, hey, mother, listen, like, you know what I mean? But
I
keep it like that for sure. But no, this has been fun.
This has been fun.
We've talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we have.
I don't shut.
Hey, it's great, man.
It is. I just like the conversations, and it might not always be like the most like.
Half of it, I was just like,
it's a little controversial, but I feel like that's important.
I just want to learn.
My bad. Yeah, I totally didn't mean to tell. We were just talking.
Listen, when guests come on, like I just want to know your story. Whatever you want to talk about, like let's do it.
What I want to hear. Yeah.
Like, what do you want to? What do you feel?
I've never felt like I've had the outlet to really speak about issues like that, and especially like something like that where it's just kind of like, dude, what does it matter? But it's cool to see people my age now. I can mess with people my age now because now they're at that mental maturity. Yeah, now you're
everyone's here.
Some of them. Now you're here. Now you're here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it's just cool because like you're able to see all these different diverse people hang out from different backgrounds, but nobody gives a shit. Like, I don't care. Like, if you were like I don't care because I don't care about my life. Why do I care about somebody else? It's like that's literally my mindset.
No, okay,
like, we're gonna end it on that note.
No, not like trying to be the president. I mean, like I just. Not that I don't care, but like I don't
get
mind.
What you're saying.
Like it just doesn't bother. Nothing bothers me. So why does it bother me?
But I think it's important to hear people's stories, just
for sure.
so you get like a better understanding of the world.
Sure.
I don't know.
People are just.
I think you just have to listen to people. I think
too.
The more you listen, the more you learn from people, and the more you can try to understand them.
And
that's like what this is for. Is just
put it in your
listening to people. I want to hear what people think.
Exactly.
I agree.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on the show, homie.
It's been awesome.
Heck yeah, man. Look.
Damn.
Killing it.
What you talking about?
And we're gonna keep on having guest artists.
Homie. You never hug.
Never hug.
Have you ever
never
hug? Only when they're married. It's the only time.
No. Only on their wedding day.
Only at the wedding.
I thought it was we're married, no hugging.
Really?
You can hug my kids.
Well, of course, I'm an uncle. You know what I mean? So that's but like, I mean, like, yeah, no, I don't care.
Anyway, we're for sure gonna have more people on, and like I think every week we're just gonna have a new person on. So
that's cool.
Just let us know if you want to be part of it, or if you have an idea for it.
This is fun.
If you have an idea of what you want to hear us talk about,
please leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments or message us, and we hope to just keep doing this.
Yeah, and if you did message to be a guest, we have a lot of people messaging us, so we want everyone on. It might just take a while to get to you. I think we're
just going to go like in order of what we received today.
Right.
I don't know how this is going to be received now that I'm thinking about it, but screw it. I don't care.
I mean, it's real stories and it's real thoughts, and it's just like a stream of consciousness.
I'm glad I was the guinea pig for this.
It was
awesome. Good, man. Just wanted to hear what you had to say.
For sure.
All right, well then we'll see you on the next episode, and we'll... Yeah.
I won't. They will.
He will.
Right.
I will.
But you can watch the next episode.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Maybe in the future, like the few seasons, they'll
we'll have
Post Malone or some
maybe.
shit on here. And then like after they have famous people, they're like, hey, remember when we brought this asshole on?
Hey, listen.
And I'll be like, yeah.
All right. Well, until next time on
AuraCast.